Good morning. How you going? How's school? How's everything? Are you excited about today's story? Remember what I said last week? Do you remember? I said that today, this morning's story is going to be the greatest thing that Jesus does so far. What have we seen Jesus do? Calm the storm, walk on water. He's healed a person with a withered hand. He's healed Peter's mother-in-law. He's helped a person with a skin disease. He's created fish from nothing. He fed 5,000 people. He said so many great things. We've seen the list go on and on and on. And when we think, can Jesus really do that? He does something extra that surprises us. But it really shouldn't surprise us, should it? Because Jesus is God. Jesus Christ, the Son of God, can do anything and everything. So why do we get surprised? Why in the Bible, when we read it, they always get surprised, don't they? Wow! Or they're afraid, like, oh, I can't believe what Jesus is doing. Because Jesus is the best. We love Jesus and we want to listen to Jesus and follow Jesus because Jesus is the only one that can give us real life. He's the only one that can take us to heaven. Did you know that? Once you die, when you get older, Jesus will take you to even a better place than this earth. And only Jesus can do that. Because Jesus is in heaven right now. So Jesus is just awesome, and we're going to see another story today. But we have to look at our friends, don't we? Hello, Oscar. How are you? Mike? Sebastian? Shannon? And I should have got you to guess. Next week I'm going to get you to remember all the names. And Michaela? Hi, Michaela. And, oh! We've got someone else. Hello. You've got a bit of hair on your head. Let me take that off. And what's your name? Obbies. Hello, Obbies. How are you? Are you ready for today's story? Yep. At any time, if you want, you can turn around and watch the screen. I know you can't see the screen, but you can look at the camera if you want. But the screen is behind you. You can turn around. So I hope you guys enjoy the story. And I'm so thankful you're coming back every week. And I'm so thankful that you're coming back every week to listen to new stories. Today, Jesus is going to do something amazing, excellent, extraordinary, and absolutely terrific. So let's have a look at that. So we're in the book of Mark again. And Jesus, he's in Capernaum. You know how Jesus is a lot in Capernaum? He has a house there that he stays, and he's traveling a lot. And we saw the people, the official Jewish leaders in Capernaum, they were always saying bad things about Jesus, weren't they? Whenever he went into the synagogue, they were saying, don't do this. You're not allowed to do that, Jesus. You're not allowed to say that, Jesus. And Jesus is like, he's not very happy with them. They're getting God's word wrong. So now, in today's story, a synagogue ruler gets to his knees and pleads to Jesus. Now suddenly he wants Jesus' help. He's been so rude to Jesus. He's been saying so many horrible things. Remember, they even wanted to kill Jesus. And suddenly he's on his knees. Jesus, help me. And Jesus, how can I help you? You see, Jesus is not angry with him. Jesus is too loving and kind. He doesn't hold grudges. He doesn't want revenge. He doesn't like, oh, he's been rude to me, I'm not going to help him. That's not Jesus' heart. Jesus has a very soft, gentle, loving heart, and he's kind to everyone because he loves everybody the same. So he sees this man, this synagogue ruler, and he's on his knees. Please, Jesus, help me. My daughter is dying. My 12-year-old little daughter, she's so cute and little, and she's dying. And Jesus tells him to stand up. And as he's talking to the man, two other guys come along from the house where his daughter is, and they're in the house watching over her to make sure she's not going to die, to make sure she's, looking after her, maybe putting a tea towel on her head to cool her down, or maybe just helping her out in different areas. But then they come to this ruler. Now his name is Jairus, okay? We'll call him Jairus, that's his name. And they came to Jairus, the synagogue ruler, and they said, "Don't bother Jesus anymore." And the synagogue ruler Jairus, he says, "Why? We know Jesus can heal. We've heard that Jesus heals many people." And they said, "Well, it's too late. Unfortunately," and they're probably crying at this stage, "unfortunately, she's dead. She's not breathing anymore." And what does it mean to be dead? Have you ever known anyone, maybe a grandparent or someone, died, or have you seen the animal die? Once a person is dead, that's it. They're gone. No more. And what do you notice about a dead person? See, when you're alive, your heart beats, doesn't it? If you can feel your heart beats, and that pumps blood around the body. You can also feel under here a pulse, or under here, or there's other areas where you can feel, and you feel boop, 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 and your pulse. And also, you can just tell by a person's breathing. If you just go like that, you breathe, and that's how you know when a person's alive or an animal's alive. When the heart stops beating, the pulse is stopped, the breathing is stopped, and a person is just, they're dead. And after that, they can't be awake again, ever again. Have you ever seen a dead fly or a dead cockroach or a mosquito or anything die and then come back to life? It never ever happens. Once something dies, it dies forever. So this man, these two, they come to Jairus and say, "Don't bother Jesus anymore. We know he's a great healer. We trust him. But unfortunately, this 12-year-old girl, she's now dead. And there's nothing Jesus can do about it." That's so sad, isn't it? I'm sad. Sorry, Jesus. You can't do anything anymore. Yes, he can, can't he? He can. Jesus gets very close to the man. And he says, "Don't you know who I am? Haven't you heard about the things? Don't you know that I'm the resurrection of the life?" What Jesus is saying is, don't you know who I am? Can God create life? Jesus is God. God, you are here because of God. Jesus created you. Jesus created me. I'm not sure if he created you guys, but he created every human being, every living creature, every plant, every animal, every flower. Jesus was there creating. So, is it too hard for Jesus to make a girl who is dead to come back to life again? Not even hard at all. But they don't know that. They're limiting who Jesus is. They think he can only calm storms and walk on water and heal withered hands. But Jesus can do more. As I said, Jesus is going to do more. Jesus can bring a person who is dead back to life. No one can do that. No one. That is just crazy thinking. So he says to the man, "Take me to your daughter." Which means Jesus is saying, I can do this. So as they go towards the house, Jesus turns, and all these women, they've dressed up in black, and black means they mourn, which means you cry. It's a sad day, and they're all dressed in black. "Oh, she's dead!" Whoa. They're all having a big sook and whinge. "She's dead, the daughter's..." And Jesus is looking and said, "She's not dead. She's asleep." Jesus is funny. She's not dead, but she's asleep. Now, obviously she's dead, but Jesus is, and they're just laughing at Jesus. "What are you talking about? We've seen her. She's not breathing. Her heart stopped. She's dead. What are you saying, Jesus? She's asleep." They must have been even angry at Jesus. They're thinking, this guy's must be crazy. What's he saying? who is this guy? So Jesus goes inside the house to where the girl is. And he tells everyone to get out, but he only wants the two parents there, Jairus and the wife, Jairus and his wife, and Jesus brings his three disciples, James, John and Peter. He goes, come in here guys. Not all the disciples, Jesus has 12, he just asked for the three, because I want you guys to come in with me. And Jesus looks at the little girl laying there, not breathing, and looks at her with compassion. What does that mean? He looks at her and he's very sad that she's like that. And remember I said a few weeks ago that Jesus doesn't speak English. In that time they were speaking Aramaic. He speaks some Aramaic words. Parents, if you're listening, do you know what Jesus says? If the kids know, do you know? What did Jesus say? He said to her, Teletha kum. This is an Aramaic word. And this word means, I say to you, little girl, get up. A girl who's dead, Jesus just touches her. And whatever Jesus touches, immediately it always gets fixed. It's not like he touches her and then tomorrow it's going to be fixed. No, he touches her, takes her by the hand, Talitha kum, get up. And what happens? Does she get up? Do you think Jesus can make a girl who's dead come back to life again? Tell me. Can Jesus make a person who's dead come back to life again? What does that say about Jesus if he can do that? It means he can do anything and everything, and we know that. So trusting in Jesus is the best thing we can ever do in our lives. And listening to Jesus, because he is the greatest. Forget about all these superheroes you watch on TV. He's better than all of them, and they're not even real, are they? Look it up. Boom! Happy. Doesn't even look sick. Breathing. He says, get up. She starts to walk around. And then you know what Jesus says after that? It's really funny. He says, get her some food. She's hungry. She's probably laying down and sick for a long time. Now she's up and she's ready to go. And Jesus is thinking, oh, I'll give her some food. Now she's probably hungry. Not only does he give her life, he wants to give her food as well and make her really happy. So I love this story. I really do, because everyone is sad. The whole town, the whole village are crying. They're thinking this beautiful 12-year-old girl, beautiful girl, is dead, never going to be living again. And suddenly Jesus comes along and says, no, she's not dead. She's just sleeping. I'll raise her from the dead. I hope you guys enjoyed that story. I love that story. I love Jesus so much. Do you love Jesus so much? Next time we come together, there's going to be a new story. And Jesus is going to do something. Are you ready for it? Are you sure you're ready for me to say this? Even greater than that. He's going to do something even greater than raising someone from the dead. Can you believe that? What could be possibly greater than that? Well, you're going to have to come back next week. I want you to have a guess. Try and guess what it is, and let's see if you're right. And I'm hoping don't miss out next week, because Jesus is going to do something greater than raising someone from the dead. So, you guys have a good day, and I'll definitely see you next week. Take care.